Hey there, everyone, and welcome to Pour and Explore, a wine, food, and travel podcast. I'm your host, Nick Elliott, the wine guy. I'd love to be your go-to guide for all things wine, food, and the amazing places they take us. Here on Pour and Explore, we'll sip, savor, and wander through the exciting world of wine, discuss incredible cuisines, and uncover the stories behind unforgettable destinations. Each week, I'll bring you lively conversations with wine experts, chefs, travel pros, and fellow enthusiasts. We'll share practical tips, hilarious tales, and plenty of inspiration to fuel your next adventure. So grab a glass, pull up a chair, and join me as we pour, explore, and celebrate the good life. Let's dive in. Hey, wine lovers, explorers, and flavor adventurers. Welcome back to Pour and Explore, the podcast where wine meets adventure, and I am your host, Nick Elliott. I'm a certified sommelier, wine traveler, all-around enthusiast for discovering new places through great food and even better wine. So very glad you're here. Today, we are diving into one of my absolute favorite topics, planning the perfect wine trip. That is what I do, of course, so I'm going to give you some of my tips and tricks, as well as some of my upcoming itineraries that I would love for you to join me on. We got lots of fun stuff coming up here for you today. Wine travel isn't just about wine. It is about culture. It's about the people. It's about the scenery, and it's about the stories you soak up along the way. You hear me talk a lot about that on this show. In this episode, we're going to walk through what makes a wine trip really unforgettable. We're going to talk about some common mistakes to avoid when planning a great trip. We are going to highlight 3 destinations that I've got coming up that, are really perfect spots to go and enjoy wine as well as the beautiful people and culture and food of those regions. And we're going to talk about some tips on making your experience smooth, fun, and just like a glass of wine, full of flavor. So grab that glass, pull up your dream travel map, and let's dive in. We're going to start with the basics here, folks. What makes a great wine trip? First off, how do you even start building a wine trip? I would say the first thing you want to start with is choose a vibe, if you will. Ask yourself, do you want this to be a relaxing and scenic trip with long lunches and stunning views? Or are we looking for something a bit more immersive, an educational experience, maybe with vineyard tours and winemaker chats? Are you into boutique family-owned estates, or do you want to see the big iconic names out there and their legendary tasting rooms? Would you rather wander through old stone cellars or sip wine with a view of the sea? These are all some things that you want to ask yourself when you're thinking about what is the best experience for you and your group. Balance, in my opinion, is always going to be key. I always recommend keeping it to 2 or 3 winery visits per day. We've talked about wine tasting on the show before. I mean, unless you've got a designated driver, we want to keep it low. We want to keep it to 2 or 3 wineries per day, not only so you can really experience those wineries, those things, and take it all in. You don't want to be rushing around. You want to really take it all in and enjoy yourself. So 2 or 3 per day, and at each winery you're going to get 4, maybe 5, maybe even more tastings. So you're going to sample a lot of wine throughout the day. And what it does do as well, it's keeping the amount of wine that you're bringing in to your body limited, is your palate is going to get overwhelmed otherwise. Just think about, other than being stuffed, thinking about eating 5 cheeseburgers in a row. That's going to get overwhelming. And by the end of it, you're just going to be like, nah. So what I recommend is 2 to 3 per day. You're going to leave some time in there. You know, most wine regions are very scenic. You're going to leave time for the scenic drives, amazing lunches or dinners. There might even be some unexpected moments in there, along the trip. These are the reasons that we travel. Not for the expected, but for the unexpected, for that unexpected meal, or you meet that unexpected person, or you drink that unexpected wine that really puts a pin in that day for you and makes it unforgettable. We don't want to forget about logistics. Are you going to drive? And if you are going to drive, are you going to drive? Do you have a designated driver? This is going to keep things safe and friendly and making sure that we're doing things responsibly. Or are you going to hire a guide? Are you going to ride around with someone? I know, especially here in California, there are in every region loads and loads of guides who will take you around in their nice car and take you to a winery, wait for you to come out, take you to the next one, et cetera, et cetera. Definitely if you can swing, hiring a professional to do it, your experience is going to be so much better, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later. Do you need to book your tastings in advance? Spoiler alert, yes, you do. Smaller or high demand wineries, you definitely want to get on their schedule, make a reservation, make a reservation, make a reservation, and be on time. Thank you very much. That is the end of my TED Talk. And let's make sure that we're aware of local wine seasons as well. For example, harvest in the southern hemisphere happens at a different time than here in the northern hemisphere. So if you're going to Australia in October or June, it's not going to be that great, because either there's nothing growing or there's just little things growing. If you're looking for that scenery, I would recommend going to Australia in March, and we're going to talk about that in just a few minutes. Don't forget to pack your wine suitcase, both literally and mentally. Make sure you're leaving room for bottles to bring home with you. Leave room in your schedule to bring home wines that you are going to want to revisit when you're out there on the road. And of course, again, get ready for those unexpected discoveries and detours and lots of fun. All right, some of the places that I want to highlight today are, of course, places that I will be visiting in the upcoming year or so, and I definitely want to share those with you and talk a little bit about what those regions have to offer and the best ways to enjoy them. Let's kick things off with Germany. I'm going to be in Germany in November along with AMA Waterways. This is going to be a river cruise along the Rhine River and the Mosel River in Germany, as well as France. We're going to hit about 5 countries while we're on that trip. It's a 10-day event, and it's going to be absolutely fantastic. We're working a tour there, as I said, and let me tell you, it's absolutely going to be storybook magic. It's going to be at the end of the season, so we're coming out, but as we talked about a couple episodes ago, Germany is famous for their ice wine. So I think on that one, we're going to maybe get a little ice wine experience going on in Germany, and that is going to be lots of fun. Germany is all about elegance and tradition. The landscape alone, as you can imagine, is worth the trip. Steep vineyard slopes, winding rivers, and castle-dotted skylines all throughout the country. And then there is the wine. Some of the key regions that we are going to be visiting are, of course, the Mosel. The Mosel region is known for graceful and mineral-rich Rieslings. Absolutely fantastic. Rheingau we'll also be going through while we're in Germany in November. Classic structured white wines and some really underrated reds, by the way, coming from that region. We will not be visiting the Pfalz region, which is a little bit further south. It's a little bit warmer. That region is known for both whites, and they've got some really nice, robust, bigger red wines coming from that region. Super exciting. So, what I'm expecting on this trip in November is lots of off dry to bone dry Rieslings, clean lines in the wine, crisp fruit, and a deep, deep connection to terroir. And it's just an exciting thing that I'm really, really looking forward to. And travel tip, here we're going to pair your tastings with a river cruise. Imagine sitting out on the deck of the front of the boat while we wind down the windy Mosel River, where we're, doing switchbacks and enjoying all of the beautiful landscapes and the vineyards on either side of the river. And just imagine sitting out, with a glass, enjoying some wine and some cheese and some great company. You know what? This is going to be a fantastic, fantastic way to see one of the oldest wine regions in the world, and you absolutely have to be there. So, if you like a little history, if you like a little wine, this is definitely going to be right up your alley. So, definitely join me. I'm going to put all of the information in the show notes. And of course, you can always hit up my website for more information about that. But for history buffs, Germany is absolutely going to be a big one. Now, if you want something a little bit different, if you want something a little more laid back, I suggest the Outback. And we are talking about Australia. Big, bold wines for the most part, and lots of laid back luxury in Australia. It's a fabulous place, or so I've heard. It'll be my first time going there next March, and again, super, super excited about this one. I'm excited about this one because it's going to be the second half of a down under tour, if you will, and we're going to talk about the other half of that in just a minute. Australia delivers sunshine, bold red wine, and seriously impressive cellars down there. The hospitality by the Australians is really world class. Some of my favorite wine people in the industry come from or live in Australia, and it's always just fun, it's chill, it's relaxed, and the wine guy is all about that. The scenery, it's going to be a lot of rolling hills, of course, in the south of Australia, and lots of wild coastline, especially when we cross the little strait over there and head over to Tasmania. The top wine regions that we're going to be visiting there in Australia. We're going to be hitting the Yarra Valley, of course. It's near Melbourne. Pinot Noir, Chardonnay, two of my favorite, very coastal, cool climate finesse in those wines. Really, really pretty. We're going to be heading over to Tasmania as well. If you've never been to Tasmania, I hear so many great things. The town of Hobart and the surrounding wine areas. Sparkling wine is iconic there. And of course, just the scenic beauty of Tasmania is absolutely fantastic. The main region in Australia, we will not be visiting Barossa, but Barossa Valley is, of course, known for their iconic Shiraz and old vine red wines. I cannot wait to get back and do Barossa at some point as well. And on these tours, that I plan with my favorite travel partners, wine is just part of the experience. I mean, it's the overall theme of the trip, but it's just part of the experience. Australia does food and wine pairings exceptionally well, extremely well. They're all about multi-course tastings that feel more like a Michelin star picnic, and I'm really, really excited about getting down there. I've been reading stories and watching videos, and I'm super, super excited to get down there. When it comes to this upcoming trip, there will be hosting little aperitif get-togethers, lunch and learns, Q&As. We're going to slow down. We're going to sip with intention on this trip. This is not a cruise, by the way. This is a land tour, except for that little flight over to Tasmania. And it's going to be a really great opportunity for us to connect with the places, especially in the south of Australia and Tasmania, and of course, meeting the people and getting the rich history behind the wine that they're making in Australia. Travel tip, March to May is really the sweet spot weather-wise for getting into wine down under, especially in the south of Australia. And that's exactly when we're going. This trip, I believe, it leaves on the 15th of March of next year. So it's going to be a wonderful time to maximize on the vineyards and the wineries, and may even see some winemaking happening while we're there. It's perfect weather-wise, perfect for vineyard visits, and of course, kangaroo sightings. It's going to be great. All right, and the first leg of this Down Under trip that we're going to be doing next March is going to start in New Zealand, specifically the North Island of New Zealand. I mean, come on. It is one of the most breathtaking places in the world. Vineyards nestled between snow-capped mountains, crystal clear lakes. It's absolutely cinematic, which is why a lot of people film their movies in New Zealand. It's really, really an amazing spot. Some key wine regions to visit while you're in New Zealand. Of course, Marlborough, birthplace of that world famous Sauvignon Blanc, that grassy, that tropical Sauvignon Blanc, really, really pretty wines, great summer wines, absolutely amazing. Central Otago, Pinot Noir is king in Central Otago, and beautiful alpine trees, landscapes, and Pinot Noir is definitely going to be the big guy in this region. Hawke's Bay is New Zealand's oldest region, and Hawke's Bay is great for Syrah and Bordeaux blends. Really, changing things up a little bit there in Hawke's Bay, producing some really, really world-class wines. And by the way, we will be concentrating on the North Island of New Zealand while we're there in early March of 2026. And again, if this is something that you would love to learn more about, please hit me up, and I'd be happy to answer your questions about this or turn you on to someone who can. The wines here are bright, they're expressive, and they are absolutely full of energy. And of course, I would be remiss without talking about the seafood. The seafood pairings in New Zealand, they are the bomb. Just the beautiful thing, New Zealand lamb, with those beautiful Bordeaux blends, absolutely fantastic. Sauvignon Blanc has never met a better partner than, cold water halibut coming from New Zealand. Really, really, really good stuff. We're going to be doing all types of things while we're there on the North Island of New Zealand, traversing things by car and by bus. We'll be doing tastings, of course, food pairings. We're even going to be diving into some olive oil production and education while we're there. As a former olive oil producer, I am really, really looking forward to nerding out a little bit about olive oil production while we're there. So that's going to be a fun little bonus in addition to the wine, food, and amazing places that we're going to see. Travel tip to New Zealand. You definitely wanted to have some outdoor adventure, during this time. It's going to be summer going into fall in New Zealand. So, hopefully we'll get some time to do a little hiking, maybe some kayaking, definitely some stargazing at night, sitting out with a glass of Pinot Noir, watching the stars. Come on, what is better than that? I'm very, very excited, and I hope you are too and can make it to New Zealand with me next year. Let's talk about wine travel in general. We talked about some of my favorite places, or going to be my favorite places, 100%. I've got lots of other stuff coming up as well, but I definitely wanted to highlight those three trips for you. But let's talk about a seamless wine travel experience in general. Here are a few rapid fire tips to make your wine travels a little more smooth. Hire a driver. A lot of us, me included, have not been to places before, and we don't necessarily know our way around. If you are able to do it, if you're able to swing it, again, hire a driver, someone who's going to be able to take you from place to place, even if it's a longer time from place to place, and really enjoy it. There are tour companies that do specifically this on a larger scale with 15, 20 people, but there are companies all over the world that do it for solo travelers or couple travelers as well. So something to think about. As most adventure travel goes, you definitely want to schedule yourself some downtime. Not only downtime for your body and your mind, but downtime for your palate. You want to give your tongue a rest while you're out there doing wine travel. It's important to make sure that we're not overwhelming ourselves. And, even a day or a half day in between tasting is going to be something that is going to be very helpful and make your trip more enjoyable. While you're in your destination, ask about shipping. I mentioned earlier, to bring your wine suitcase along, and I definitely recommend that. But while you're there, ask, can you ship this back to the States or back to Europe or wherever you're coming from to enjoy this trip? Ask about shipping. It can't hurt to ask, and the worst thing they can tell you is no. And of course, if you are going to travel with wine, you want to learn about the laws and the different rules on the airlines that you're taking, train travel, et cetera, et cetera. You find out all of this stuff before you leave, because the last thing you want to do is buy a bottle of great wine and then realize that they're not going to let you on the plane with it or let you in your home country with it or whatever the case is. So make sure that you're looking out for that. As I always say, my journal is buried over there, but take notes. Bring your journal, whether that is on your phone or you have an actual written journal like I do. Take notes, and not just on the wines. Remember how the place made you feel, how the people made you feel, how the food made you feel when you were enjoying it along with the wine. I can't put a pin in that enough. Make sure that you are taking notes along your travel, because 10 years from now, you're not going to remember every small little nuance about your trip. I'm guilty of that myself, and I definitely want you to get out there and take notes while you're doing it. The last thing I'll say is say yes. Say yes to these trips. Pull the trigger, go out and do it. And while you're there, say yes to spontaneity, spontaneous detours, different things. There are always going to be afternoons on these trips to go out and explore on your own. Go have fun with it. That is where the magic often lies in these trips, is taking the road less traveled. So the best wine trips are planned, of course, as we all know, and they are certainly part improvised. So those are my big tips for you. I've done a whole episode here about places that I'm going coming up soon. I definitely want for you to think about coming with me. Germany in November of 2025, New Zealand and Australia in March of 2026. Think about it. I would love to have you come along, but if you can't, make time for yourself and for your significant other or your group of friends or family. get out there and enjoy the world of wine. Wine is all about connection. Slow down, look around, talk to the people. Every glass will tell a story about where it came from, about who made it, and a lot of times you will actually be getting that story not from the glass, but from the person themselves. And I can't think of a better way to enjoy a wine, no matter where you're going. Definitely, you want to do that. And, if you want to learn more about the trips that I've got coming up, please reach out to me. The usual ways. You can reach out to me on Instagram, TikTok, my website. That's where you're going to find information about the tours that I've got coming up. And, of course, via email, cheers@thewineguy.vin. .vin, and I would definitely love to get you more information. And if you want more tips on creating a great itinerary for yourself, going out and enjoying the world of wine, hit me up. I would be happy to share that with you. And I got a bonus here for you folks. If you will comment, whether that's on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or YouTube, or just send me a DM, if you comment wine trips, I am going to send you via email my wine travel checklist. And of course, I would love for you to like and subscribe and leave me a rating. I would love to hear your feedback. And again, just go ahead and comment wine travel, and I will send you that checklist for your next adventure. Tag me in your wine travel photos, share your wine stories with me. Let's keep this party going, folks. Let's have a good time. Until next time, keep wondering and wandering. Cheers, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I will talk to you soon.
Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Pour and Explore. I'd love to hear your thoughts, your stories, and your questions, so you can drop me a line at cheers@thewineguy.vin. That's cheers@thewineguy.vin. Or let's connect on TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook. Grab those links on my website at thewineguy.vin. Until next time, let's keep wondering and wandering. Cheers, everyone.